So first up, you have strength. Then you have the two of pentacles, the two of cups. This is the two of cups, and then you have the ace of wands. Your challenge for the few months is the nine of wands reversed, and what is recommended for you is the three of swords. So I feel like you're going into the few months kind of really in a very strong position. Strength to me, she is very diligent. She's very dedicated. She hits up against obstacles. I feel like it's like almost like a patient energy. It's a persistent energy, but it's not quick. To me, it goes over a long period of time. It's that kind of strength and that diligence and that dedication over a long period of time. But it's also not like combative. Like I think she does it in a very soft way where she's very, I don't want to say strategic because I don't think she's going into it thinking strategically. I just think she has a good heart and I think she almost wants the best for everybody, but she knows her end goal and she always has that in mind. So I think that you are going into these few months really having been involved in or engaging in something that really took a lot of your patience, a lot of your dedication, and you're still staying with it. Sometimes this could be even that you're, I don't want to say leading from behind a curtain, but you might be working with a group or a group project, and there may be like a leader on paper, but your ideas or your contributions help actually steer the group in a better direction, but you're not doing it combatively where you're like, okay, no, I'm the leader here. I had that idea. No, you're kind of like, oh, okay, well, you know what if we tried this? And people are like, yeah, you know what, that's a great idea. So you're doing it kind of softly in a way. It's kind of like, I want to say soft power, but it's very, very strong. It's very strong energy, but it's also knowing that things take time. So I think with whatever has been going on kind of now or in the past, like represents something you've been very diligent with, and it's been taking time and it's been requiring a lot of your patience. But as you move through the few months, you're going to actually really come into this Two of Cups energy, which is all about kind of very good partnerships. Now, this could be with other people, or this could just be with a situation. There's going to be something that really blends well with you. It is mutually beneficial. You just gel well together. So whatever's going on, you're really going to have this nice synchronicity, which is excellent. Now, then by the end of the few months, you're going to be going into this Ace of Wands moment, which is all about starting something passionate. It's about new action. It's about, having an idea or wanting to do something and actually doing it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go skydiving. I'm doing it now. So it's kind of that kind of excitement. It could represent some type of career change or career opportunity, but it's something that you're really passionate about. You're very motivated with. It kind of hits you in that exciting feels a little bit. But what is challenging you for the few months is the Nine of Wands in reverse. Now, this is indicating that you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. You might feel like you're not being supported by those around you, that you're kind of doing it on your own, that you're kind of fighting the good fight, but you're almost like now feeling depleted, like you almost don't have the fight left. Because when he's in the upright, this card is about some, really being dedicated to something, that you're still sticking with it. You went through the battle with it. It was not easy. You hit up against all these obstacles, but your mind is set up and you're like, no, I am sticking with this till the end. But you're worn out, but you're like, oh my God. You're worn out, but you still stick with it. But now this is almost like in the reverse. It's almost like, is it worth sticking with? You're tired. You might just be like kind of wanting to give up in a way. But because I think whatever the strength is, I think this is energy that's been really with you for a while. Whatever the situation represents, you've been kind of going through it for a while. I think you have an end game. You know what you want out of it. But this card, because on the picture, she has this cat. And she always knew when she got this cat that they were going to be BFFs. When she got this cat, this is the way I see this lady. She got this cat, however she got this cat, this lion. And she knew, you know what? We're going to be best friends. And the lion didn't know that. So she had to train the lion. And anybody who's tried to train a cat before, you understand. I mean, some cats are more trainable than others. I've had a lot of cats. I've had ones that were very good, and then I've had ones that were very free spirits, very independent, very their favorite game was the no game. So it's not easy. It's not easy because they're very independent. They're very independent thinkers and they want what they want, sometimes the way they want it. And whether or not they're going to humor you and do what you ask them is another thing. So, but she always knew that regardless of that, she and this cat are going to be friends. And that's what they are. I like to see them as friends. But so I think that you might be at the point now or coming to the point where you're just really worn out. Whatever this is, whatever you've had this patience and this persistence with, you might be tired. You might be like, oh my God, is it worth it? I put all this energy into it. And you may not have gotten quite the results as quickly because I always see this as a little bit of a slower energy, slower going over a longer period of time. So you may not be getting the results quite as you like, but I do think you are going to be getting good results. It could just be like, I don't want to say was it worth it, but it could just be that you're a little worn out. So I think that's what you need to be aware of is just still sticking with it, kind of still trudging through it. I think good things are on their way for you, especially because by the end of the month, by the end of the few months, you have the Ace of Wands here, and that's about kind of new passionate beginnings. But I just think you need to kind of just still stick with it. And with the Three of Swords recommended for you, I really feel like this is saying that you need to acknowledge if there's certain things that have broken your heart or been disappointments in your life, and if they're actually affecting you now. If they're affecting you and your decisions with this situation, they may be kind of creeping in, they may be tainting your perspective to a degree. I think you need to acknowledge that, especially because I feel like with this, what was this? The Nine of Wands in reverse. Because this is about kind of almost wanting to give up, that you're worn out. You feel like you don't have anybody in your corner and you might not even know what you're fighting for anymore. But I think maybe by you recognizing if there was something from the past or situations or even your own negative thought processes, maybe you're seeing more negative about the situation and you're not really looking at the positives or the good things. I think this is saying that, be aware of that. Be aware, even if there's any negative situations that are dragging you down or kind of pushing you a certain kind of way, you might have to cut that out a little bit. Maybe this could be saying that be aware of that. Be aware of how other people are treating you, how they're talking to you, or even situations, how it's making you feel, how it's affecting your mental health as well. Because I definitely think with the Two of Cups here, you have definitely a good partnership coming in or starting. And with the Ace of Wands here, you're definitely going to be starting something. I think this is very positive. It's the beginning of something good. But I think you might need to take stock in what's going on now. And if there's something that you need to change or move away from, you might need to kind of face that a little bit. Even if it's a little bit, I don't want to say breaks your heart, or if it's a little bit sad, you might have to face that or at least acknowledge it. So let's see what else we get for you guys. So first up, you have Canary Spirit, sing your own song. And I think this is just reminding you with this Nine of Wands in reverse, you might just be feeling a little bit, because if you were doing something with the Strength card that is very much you, it's very much the way you want to do it, or it's something that you want to do, and maybe other people don't really see your vision. I think this is saying that you might be feeling a little worn out now, and it might be kind of, if you've hit up against a lot of obstacles with it, you might just be getting, was this the right thing? But I think this is saying here that you just need to continue on the way that your intuition, the way that your gut, or what makes you happy. You need to continue on kind of pursuing the things in life that like really align with you. And that's different for each person. We're very individualistic. So certain things that will make somebody happy will not make somebody else happy. So each one of us really, I really believe that we're just here to, I think one, at least, I don't want to say the goal of life. I think the goal of life is dishes and laundry. But endless amount of dishes and laundry. But I think something, at least in my life, I've realized that I need to pursue happiness. Because if I have always these goals and these aspirations, and if I don't meet them or they don't transpire exactly how I thought it should transpire, then I'm putting my value and my how I feel about it against something that maybe it was not even feasible to begin with. So I think I just need to take a step back and stop trying to constantly be focused on planning or the future or whatever, and just be like, what are the things that do make me happy today? And of course, these things, you want them to also potentially benefit you in the future. So you don't want to just, you want to have long-term goals, but it's kind of like taking a step back and be like, okay, this is making me happy. I think it could be good for the future. But as soon as that's not really what is great for you, it's always good to shift things out, shift it up. But I think this is saying that you just need to kind of march to the beat of your own drum. And then we have Carnelian, feed your creativity. And I think for some of you, you might be very creative people. And I think with whatever the strength is, you might really have some kind of dream, or there might be some kind of passion, or something that you really feel that you want to do. Because I'm telling you, when she brought this cat home, some people were like, what the hell? Do you know how big that thing's going to get? I'm telling you, somebody, maybe her mother told her that. She brought this thing home and she was like, you know what? You know how big that's going to get? You know what that is? It's a lion. So she's like, yeah, Mom, I know, but I'm its mommy now. So, but other people probably didn't understand her love for this cat. They didn't understand why is she bringing this future monster home. This thing could kill her. It could eat her. It's unpredictable, because cats, they can be a little unpredictable as well. They could be a little bit moody. So other people didn't quite understand this. So, but she always knew, no, this is right for me. This is what makes sense to me. I know I can do this. She always had that faith in herself. And even when, I'm sure the cat scratched her, I'm sure it was playing, it probably bit her a little too hard, because that's what kittens do, even lion kittens. They, I'm assuming, because it seems like all cats are kind of the same. They all seem to like boxes for the most part. I always love seeing those videos of these huge lions sitting in boxes. I'm like, oh. And then my cat sits in the box. I'm like, look, these are your other, not your ancestors, but these are part of your family, Zoe. So, but it's funny. So it's, but she saw this vision for herself. She knew it was right for her. And I think some of this is a little bit creative, because I think sometimes when you do certain things as far as the strength energy, it might not be quite what everybody else is doing. So you might have to be creative in figuring out, well, how the hell are you going to do it? How does it work for you? How are you going to take, let's say with this lady, this cat, and kind of make it your friend, kind of maybe make it a little bit more domestic? It's obviously not a traditional domestic animal, but she was like, you know what? It's okay. I don't care. So it's about troubleshooting as well. It's about hitting up against those obstacles. But I think with the creativity here is you figuring out how to push forward. So I think that's really, really positive. But I think sometimes our biggest critics or our biggest problems is our own mind, is us perceiving setbacks or heartbreaks where there might not necessarily be, but it's we are getting in our own head. So I think with the Three of Swords, this is recommended for you, but I think this is recommended that you stay aware of this, or if there was something that's not good for you or causing you to have this Three of Swords moment, if there's something you can change about it, you should do that. Okay, now addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. And then you have karmatic relationship, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. So some of you might be moving on from, let's say, codependent relationship, or it could even be an addiction, or it could be anything that you're addicted to or have unhealthy behaviors for. So, I mean, the Three of Swords then would be, because it's recommended, this is saying then what's not good for you, and you might need to make some changes. So, and you need to stay diligent with those changes, because if you're making those changes and if you're doing what you need to do, then this Nine of Wands reverse is like, you might feel overwhelmed. You might feel like you don't have the oomph or the fight to do that. Because sometimes when you're dealing with things like this, it's very tricky. It's not easy. So but I just feel like this is just recommending you to just kind of be aware of that. Because I honestly feel like something better is coming in for you. So I think you just need to have that kind of mindset that you can get through this if there's some tricky thing. Because I definitely think with the Two of Cups here and the Ace of Wands here, I think things are coming in for you. And the Strength, I always see it as a very positive card, because to me it says you have the strength to carry on as well. Like you have what it takes to get it done. Like you can persevere. And then you have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And I think this is saying that you have to stay positive. So with this Three of Swords, to me, it's recommended here, and it's saying you have to be aware of your thoughts. You have to be aware of any negative situations that are bringing you down. So, and just stay optimistic. If this is about love and you're, maybe going through a little bit of a breakup or trying a different thing out or whatever, you just have to stay optimistic. It could be job, it could be anything, but you just need to keep that positive thought process and remind yourself that you can do this. Because if you start feeling overwhelmed and that you don't have the fight left, or is it worth fighting for, you can do this. Like you have what it takes to kind of push through some of this and kind of get to your Ace of Wands at the end, with it, which is like the new beginnings, the exciting, passionate start to something. And next you can throw in the towel, or you can use it to wipe the sweat off your face. So this is saying with this Nine of Wands here in reverse, this person's on the verge of throwing in the towel. See, some might say they are throwing in the towel. Me, no. I don't see that. I just feel like they're thinking of throwing in the towel, but they're not even going to do that. That's I like to think positive. But this is saying that you have options. You could either completely walk away with it, but if it's worth fighting for, and if deep down you know it's worth fighting for, you need to stick with it, because the Strength here is saying that you have what it takes. I think whatever this is, you might have been working on it for a while. And sometimes things we have to let go of, sometimes certain things. Sometimes it's good to, you're like, you know what, I'm done here. I have to move on. It's not worth it anymore. But you'll know for yourself. Anyway, you have today I am at peace. Today I am at peace with all that has happened, all that is happening, and all that will happen. And I think this is extremely positive, because I think this is just bringing you back into that daily, like one day at a time, one moment at a time, and just focusing on kind of the here and now. Let's see what Bob Ross has to say for you. We have, every painting is going to be different, and that's what makes it great. Let me read that again. Every painting is going to be different, and that's what makes it great. And I think that's really going with this canary spirit, sing your own song. I think that, and feed your creativity. I think you're in a place right now where you might be, I don't want to say figuring things out, but I think whatever this is, it's not something that's coming necessarily 100% easy for you. I don't think it has been easy, but it's been worth it. I really feel like it's been worth it. But within that, with each journey, especially ones that are a little bit more trickier, we learn a lot about ourselves. And maybe if you're looking at somebody else's life or somebody else's thing and you're like, oh, look at that, things are working out for them, don't worry about them. You are working on your own thing, and you just need to be free to do that. And I think with this Two of Cups, this is saying that you will be finding other people or a situation that really pairs nicely with you. So, and that's super positive, especially with the Ace of Wands here. Now, let's see what Spirit of the Dish we get for you. You have the Spirit of the New Englander, which is the spirit of the clam chowder. And for your dinner and a movie, you have comedy films and Chinese food. And for the energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have Lego. I think I called them Lego once before. Oh my God, I'm just changing everybody's names here. Anyway, Leo. You have Leo. So, and Leo's represents ego, individuality, and confidence. And you have Gemini here, which is all about communications and thought process. And I think they are very much like that kind of devil's advocate. They see the two sides of things. So you might have to kind of have that little bit devil's advocate, or seeing multiple sides of the same situation to figure out the best way. Now you also have the North Node here, which represents destiny. And you have Venus here, which is all about love, money, and powers of attraction. And you have two nines. You have two ninth houses, which represents higher education, growth, expansion, religion, and philosophy. And you have This little skull here represents number 6, and that is an even number. So that means the special guest that will be answering your questions today will be Mr. Predicto. He will be out here shortly, so think of those questions. And you have R, M, G, D, Y, A, P, 2103, and you have strength. Again, you have strength. So you definitely have the strength to kind of persevere in this situation. Let's see what little charmy we get for you. Okay, so you have the professional bunny rabbit. So this one is saying that sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it, because if he doesn't put this outfit on, this jacket, he's just a regular bunny rabbit. But because he was like, no, I'm just not any regular bunny rabbit, he put this jacket on and now he's become a professional. So I think this is saying sometimes you just have to pretend, you have to look the part, you have to just, you know, get a little bling blingy, whatever makes you feel good or whatever makes you feel like you belong in the energy or the situation or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you do it. You dress up, you do your hair, whatever, or even just be in that energy. Just have that mindset that you already have what you want and you're going to do it. Just continuing on figuring it out. And he could also be indicating that you might be able to gain advice or help from somebody else. There might be something, even on YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube has so much information and I just like love it. But there might be something that could help whatever you're doing. There might be some information available to you that could just help you along your travels as well. Okay, now it is time. Here he is. Okay, think of those questions and let us ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate prediction device to ever run off of batteries. What is the answer to the question?
I am confident it is no.
Okay, so he said he is confident it is no. Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and those were the words he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful few months, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.